G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of Sophisticated Bogan. In this video we're going to be working on the Commodore. For those who don't remember or haven't seen this car in the videos yet, it's a 2000 VX Holden Commodore, Holden by design. It's a Holden acclaim, Holden by design. So in that you get like an HSV style body kit, you get HSV style wing, you get like traction control and stuff, as well as pretty sure it's AP2 suspension. Also, you get a little plaque as well, where it's just the little plaque that you get on the front there in the engine bay, and also you get a little tag down on the sides there. So just do a little sound. I'll show you things that we've done in the engine bay. It's not stopped. Pretty much here, probably just in that part of the video, that part of the sound, it's not stopped. I'll give it a little blip. So yeah, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, why I mean that it's not overly stopped. Anyway, so we have lowered this down. It's sitting on just some GT Monroe shocks. And some King springs. I can't remember exactly what height the springs are, what they were called, whether like SSL or SLs. It's sitting pretty low, so I'm guessing SSL. Anyway, so yeah, in the engine bay, part of the reason for the sound is that we've got extractors on here. We've got pacemaker extractors and a full system all the way through. I'm pretty sure it's a redback system all the way through. And of course, we've got the billet rocker covers as well, and there's the engine cover over there. So what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be replacing the front shocks. We had an incident on the road, had hit something at night, and it's damaged the suspension. So we've got all the components that we need for that. So you know, your bump stops and boots, the top plates. So new top plates, you know, the strut mount, and of course the shocks. Also, we've had this thing for quite a while, and just one of those things that never got around to doing it. Since these shocks have got to come out, so what you got to do to put these in is that you have to drill 2 more holes on here, so that the plate can be mounted to it, and then yeah, you've got to adjust it to the width that you need it, and then yeah. Oh yeah, also what's going on here, we've got boxed AirPod, so just for any legal reasons. But yeah, it's how you're meant to have it enclosed and stuff so that it's legal. But honestly, if you have an open pod, like, you know, not boxed up where you can't get fresh cool air, you're getting hot air out of the engine bay. Anyway, so what we've got to do as well is that I want to get the rocker cover gaskets, valley gasket, and many of the gaskets. As far as I've got head gaskets too, but I'm not up for doing that yet. Ain't broke, don't fix, but the rocker cover gaskets do need to be changed. Also, with the battery bolt, unfortunately has pinched down into the harness, so we've got some Christmas trees on the dash, which is affecting a few things, like the radiator fans aren't turning on because of it, and we're also not getting full power to the headlights. So yeah, got to fix that up, and it's going to be a fun mish. So we'll be doing this over a few days. So yeah, let's get cracking, shall we? Alright. Okay, I forgot to say also too that because I'm going to be taking off the fuel rails and all that kind of stuff, you need to make sure that you empty the system out for fuel. So what you do is you take off your fuel pump relay, and that'll stop the fuel pump from running, and you start the car, let it run until it stalls, and then you're clear. Alright, let's get cracking. Well, that's it. Now it's start undoing stuff. So I can get to the harness. We've got to get the battery out of the way. I want to get the headlight out of the way so that more visual, just so I can see better. So for the headlight to come out, the bar's going to come off. Also, looks like we've got some corrosion on the battery. Old school trick is, you can get stuff that's specifically for putting on your terminals to stop corrosion. An old school trick also is to get some Vaseline and put some Vaseline around the terminal, and that will help it as well. Also, make sure that you don't leave battery on concrete. Alright, so far we've got out the plenum lid, and next will be, like, I've unplugged the injectors. So I've just got a couple of things to undo to disconnect from it, and then I'll be able to lift that out, and then we'll be onto the inlet manifold. Alright, so for this bit, new day, new job. Alright, so next we're moving on to the suspension. I've got the car jacked up. So I've already taken off those two bolts. Got to knock those two bolts out. Well, I've taken the nuts off them, got to get the bolts out. And also the top mount as well. Alright, so I've just got to get everything together and then we can keep cracking. And also after that I'll be going on to getting the rest of this done. Alright, cool. Alright, so changing tactics. I've been thwarted by a nut. So I need to get an impact gun. My son's going to bring one around for me. Unfortunately mine's too small to be able to fit over that nut. Yay! So while we're waiting for that, we will move on to getting the intake manifold off. So let's get cracking and all that jazz. As I suspected, this has got some milkiness on it. Alright, so we've got the other side out, and I've just put the strut brace in so that I can mark where the holes are going to be. I need to get a drill bit. I'll go buy something else again. So I need to get a drill bit because my drill bit that I do have is just a little bit blunt. And I'll also be getting back onto this tomorrow as well. Yeah, so I can get the inlet manifold off. I've got to take off the belt adjuster, and I've also got to get that off, the thermostat housing off as well. Hopefully that's all I have to take off, and it's been a long time since I've pulled one of these apart, so I'm sort of remembering things as I go. So it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. But anyway, it's going to be all great when it's done. I reckon that's going to look sweet when the engine cover's back on and that's going over the top of it. We are going to paint these because they're the grey silver colour. It doesn't really match in with the car, especially then when we put everything back together again. Alright, we'll catch this back up in the next section. Alright, so I've been trying to get these into a position that I'm happy with. And, there goes nothing. So I'll just quickly get the other side. Alright, so I've just sort of marked the holes with the drill. And where I put the circles was not where it was meant to be, so I had to readjust it before. Okay. Alright, so let's get the holes drilled, and then I'll get these. I'll get these parts cleaned up and painted. An easy way to clean it up. Alright. There's holes drilled. Hopefully it all works. There's one. So once these are dry and set, then I can install them on the car, and then I can get the suspension put back in. Alright, second one painted. So we just got to let these dry. Once they're dry, then I can install them on the car. Alright, so we have the strut brace mostly installed. I've got to take the actual strut brace back out again so that I can do all this stuff, and plus the engine cover's got to go back on before the strut brace can go back on itself. Alright, so next we're going to move on to suspension. So trying to get these all buttoned up because my son needs to grab that today, so I need to get this done. Alright, suspension put up. I've got that all done now, got the top plate on. So we have both sides done now, all completely all buttoned up, everything in place. Everything's, yeah, she's all good. So I'm just going to leave it on the jack stands for the moment. The next step for them is just putting the wheels on. I'm going to leave the jack stands on, leave it on the jack stands, just so that this is all at a bit more of a workable height, so I'm not bending over so much. I am tall and the car is low. So, but yeah, everything looks sweet. Really pleased how that came out. I think the red looks much better than what that silver did. Alright, so I've got stuff that I've got to do today, so I'm going to have to cut this one here. But then you'll see in the next section, which will be for me tomorrow, you guys just the next bit. And we'll get on to getting all the gaskets done. So I've got to drop all the fluids out and all that kind of stuff as well. So joy, we're getting there, nearly done. About halfway through. Next, we're on to getting off the belt tensioner. I've already taken off the top hose and disconnected the bottom hose from the radiator to get all the fluids out. So what I'm on to now is I've just got to get the heater hoses off, and then I can disconnect all this and then take it off. Also, while I'm here, also get the thermostat housing top off as well, because I've got the gaskets for them as well. So yeah, let's get cracking on and all that jazz, and we'll get fired. Alright, so as you can see, we've got milkiness in these two, which is also where those bolts came out of. It's just in this area. So yeah, we've got to get that cleaned up. Looks alright from this side, but when you look at the inlet manifold, yeah, so we've got to clean that all up. Oh, fun. And yeah, alright, so I'm probably going to fire my compressor up. But at least in here, it's easy to sort of clean up. We just got to get these old gaskets off, clean up the surfaces, and then we can put the new, well, once the inlet manifold's ready to go, we can get them cleaned up and put in. Alright, now it's time to head back to the car. So I've just got to go ahead and get some things done off camera. This is pretty boring. And then we'll get on to getting the inlet manifold gaskets off. Get the new one, like clean up the surfaces, get new ones in. Yeah, get the front and rear seal as well. And then we can put the inlet manifold back on. Yay! Okay, so we've got the gaskets in, the seal, front and rear seal in. Now it's time for the intake manifold to go on. I've got to do the bolts up in a sequence, and then we'll be able to move on to putting the plenum in and yeah, all that jazz. Alright, cool. So we've got the inlet manifold on now. I've just got to do up the bolts. I've got to do it up a sequence, hence why my phone's there with a picture of the sequence that the bolts get tightened up to. And yeah, and then torque them up and on to the next bit. Alright, so we had these all torqued up to spec. So next is to fit the injector rail back onto the bottom of the plenum, and then we lube them up and slot them in. Alright, so for the injectors, I've put some Vaseline on the end of them. That way they go into their homes a bit better and they won't pinch the O-rings. Alright, let's get that put in, shall we? Just make sure the gaskets are good. Then we put the bolts in. and that'll be the top or the bottom of the inlet, and that'll be the bottom of the plenum done. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and do the plenum to get it all buttoned up. So the injectors are all plugged in with the little clips in there. So everything's all plugged up, like all the fuel lines, vacuum lines are nearly all done. Just a couple of things left to go because I've still got to put the throttle body on. But yeah, we're really close to being able to get this fired up again. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go clean the rocket covers so they're all nice and shiny and fresh, and put some new seals in them as well. Alright, onwards and upwards, eh? So we're up to putting the rocket covers on now. I've got the gaskets put in them and I've cleaned them all up, so like I'm going to have to wipe over them again because I've got grease on them. But they've been polished up with some metal polish to make them shine. I don't have a machine, like a bit that you put on your drill to do some like small buff kind of work stuff, but so I did it all by hand, so it's not as good as I'd like to be, but it looked a lot better than it did. Alright, so let's get these rocket covers on and then we can start getting everything else buttoned up. Alright. Alright, that's the rocket covers on and torqued up. Alright, we are on the home stretch. So, just going to put the belts on now. And I've got that there because I always forget. And then we'll put on the tube, cover back on, fill this up with coolant, and then I can put the strut brace back in as well. Put the wheels back on, put it back on the ground, and we are good to go. On, and we'll get the tube on, and then we'll be able to put the cover on. Alright, get this battery back in, put the battery tray back in. Just going to get this headlight in. So when you put in the Vaseline, just lather it on. It's sort of, because the heat sort of melts away anyway. Just leave it behind. So this is just a backyard mechanic version. You can actually buy the stuff that's purpose built, purpose made for it. Okay, now all we've got left to do is to fill it up with coolant, put some clips in for this shroud, but yeah, everything's on. So yeah, we've just got to fill it up, get it up to pressurized system as well, and then it'll, yeah, wheels on, down she goes, and good to go. So stupid me has put this on before filling this up to pressurized system, because I've got to have the bleeder for it. So I'm just going to loosen this up so that I can get a flat head in there so I can still turn it. But otherwise, yeah, good to go. So getting this thing filled up. I'm going to turn it on now so we can start having the system flow. Alright, so I don't really know what's going on. She's not a happy camper. Not running right. Seems to have trouble idling. So that could be the injectors, you know, could be the spark plugs, but I don't know. Something's not right. Alright, so we'll get these wheels on, get the front bar on, get it on the ground. Take it for a drive. Okay, that's it for this video. So we've got everything all buttoned up now and everything's all looking good. Hoping that it just needs some injector cleaner to clean the fuel through. It's been sitting for a little while now, but that's all going to be for this one. So this will be the next video that comes out, and then the next one after that will be an event on Friday. So I'll be doing that one, and then it'll be the bike again with putting the frame and everything back together. Alright, well that's it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya. Right, so this is just a little add-on to the end of the video, because I realised why I wasn't running right. I had forgotten to plug the MAF plug back in. So everything's running all goods now. So yeah, then see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next one.